Hello, hello. Welcome to Mary's Ponder of the Day. Today's ponder is just be you. Have you noticed in this day and time, in social media, influencer culture and all that stuff, that there's really a lot of pressure to be anyone but you, right? To conform, to wear a certain kind of clothes, to be a certain weight, to, I don't know, blah, 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 whatever. And, I was thinking about years and years ago when I was young, I had this amazing mother. My mother was truly an amazing person. She was strong in her opinions. She was a woman of great faith. But she had a tendency to say what was on her mind. And I realized, I've been thinking about it actually all day. All day. Was that as she got older, it did get kinder and gentler, and she did express her opinion less and less outside of her circle. Like, she quit expressing her opinion to people that didn't care. And I think that's kind of, part of the impetus for this channel is, the great thing about YouTube is if you don't care, well, go away. Or you don't agree, go away. That in the vast outreaches and nether regions of YouTube, there is every group and vibe and opinion that you can possibly imagine. So if you don't find a home here, most certainly you can go somewhere else, and probably, most likely, no matter how fringy you are, find somebody that agrees with you. As I was speaking about yesterday, tribe. I'm sorry, I'm boning chicken for dinner, so if I keep looking in the wrong place, it's because I'm distracted. But my thoughts seem to come more easily when I'm distracted. But I was thinking today, I was like, I used to be so much freer about being myself, and wondering, when did that kind of stop? When did I start what is the word? You know what buffering is? When a video is loading and it is slow, there's not enough strength in the internet, it starts, spinning that little circle, and it's buffering. And I think that's a great thing. It's because it's not going to change how I think. It's not going to change how I feel. But I think I started buffering myself. I started thinking about what I was going to say for such a period of time that then the moment passed and there was no point in talking about it. It's like the moment had passed, and I thought, when did that start happening? And this is not about blame, understand for sure. But I realized that it had a lot to do with my kids. One of the things when I was growing up, sometimes, occasionally, before I learned to appreciate just how brave and wonderful and crazy intelligent she was, that my mom occasionally would embarrass me by speaking her opinion and then not letting people, bully her into either standing down or whatever. She may disengage from the fight. I'm not telling you that not a fight, not like a physical fight, but like an argument or even a heated discussion. She was going to hold her own, but she also might decide you're an idiot and that she but based on something you said or did or a belief that you shared where she went, oh, well, I'm just going to disengage. So I'm not talking about that. I'm talking more of I think it's more like a social media related, that it's one thing to think a thing or do a thing or be a thing or have opinions or say stuff in very small groups. And quite another to post things on the great interwebs. And then it's just out there. So I think by the time my kids were in middle and high school, and of course both of mine were very involved in different things, football or baseball or FFA or whatever, and I just didn't want to embarrass them, so I tried to be. I think I toned myself down, and as I've gotten older, I've become weary of toning myself down. Now that doesn't mean that I haven't learned, like my mother, not to start arguments with idiots. It also doesn't mean that I'm going to say things purposely to be outrageous just for the sake of being outrageous. That's not my thing. I don't need to be right. If you need to be right, you go on ahead with yourself. But what I am very interested in doing is having intelligent conversations and discourse with other people who would like to do the same. And I don't know about y'all, but I've gotten to where there's just so few people that you can have any kind of discussion with about the state of the school system, religion, God forbid, politics, crime. I mean, you name it. There's just seems to anymore. I was telling my aunt the other day, I said, you know what I miss? I remember in the 60s when I was a little kid, my parents entertained a lot, and they would have their friends over, and sometimes those conversations got quite lively. They didn't agree on everything, even though they were close friends. Sometimes there were differences of opinion, but there was also this, they didn't shout over top of each other. Each person got to speak till they got done. And then the other people would, it would go back and forth and this and that. And, I don't know. I was too little to know. Did they change each other's minds? I don't know. But I know that they went on and sat down to dinner and broke bread together. And there were other times we got to, then the entertaining and the getting together continued. So, and the friendship continued. And so I've just been, this trajectory I'm on is to somehow find other people who can hold their own opinions, who can be 100% unapologetically themselves in the comfort of knowing that their opinion, even if not agreed with, is respected. Like I respect that you have an opinion that may be polar opposite of mine. But if your answer to that is to attack or bully or browbeat or constantly talking over top of me, and never truly listening to what I'm saying. Because here's what I've discovered about things we feel passionately about, which is wonderful. It's wonderful that we feel passionately still about things. But where we've gone astray, I think, is remembering, recognizing, realizing, embracing that ultimately we all want the same thing, right? We all want to have nice things in life. We want to live in safe places. We want peace in our homes. We want clean air and clean water and clean food, and a certain sense of safety, and to do something in life that has meaning and purpose. But we're so polarized now that, and we're just drifting away from each other, and I find it so distressing. And I've actually, I try to be. Years and years ago, I was, before I became a real estate agent, I was in victim services at a police department for like almost 8 years. And I really learned so much in that job, not only about social services and the state of things. The state of things. Talking about it's your paradigm, the worldview, like the greater overarching state of things, globally, nationally, state, local, and now here you are in front of me, and I have to deal with what's going on here. But I also learned a lot about myself, and that is that, that old saying is, just be yourself because everyone else is taken. What a beautiful thought that is. And so true. And so my recent navel gazing is, self introspection is, where am I putting my light under a bushel to be more palatable to people who may find me a little bit too much. I don't know. It's what I'm thinking about these days. Have come to know long-lasting conclusions. It's that most of the people who count me among their friends or their closest family or what have you would say, one thing about old Mama Mary, she's going to tell you exactly what she thinks. And realizing that I have gotten less and less inclined to do so. And maybe that's good. I don't know. Maybe unless somebody came to me and directly and asked me, which sometimes they do. They absolutely, I get calls, if not on the daily, for sure on the weekly. What do you think? So I know I must have some value in that area. But yeah, that's my ponder of the day. And what ways are you putting your light under a basket and not shining because we have too many people looking, right? Or we're doing it so our husband, wife, girlfriend, boyfriend, significant other, mother, father, child won't be embarrassed or won't feel any discomfort or whatever, and not being our true selves. I don't know. Something to think about. Mary's Ponder of the Day. Have a great evening.